Hello, and welcome back once again to our beer garden. Today's offering comes to us from the folks at Saucony Brewing Company. And I don't know if I'm pronouncing that right, but it's from Kutztown, Pennsylvania. And I know that that's correct because I actually did have to Google that to figure out the proper pronunciation of it. This beer, however, I do not need to Google to figure out the pronunciation of. I'm having trouble pronouncing things. Karamel Mistress, a sweet and mysterious mistress to be sure. It's a 7% alcohol by volume. It's a 82 on Beer Advocate. And it says on the side, adventurous beer for all of your adventures. So I guess we're going on an adventure today with this ale brewed with butternut squash and spices. Ooh, alluring. Very alluring. And it's got some strange can art with like a lady's hand coming out of a chest with some glorpy looking caramel popping out. It's wacky, to be sure. It's a wacky can art, you know? We love that in the garden. So here we go. Let's give it a pour, shall we? Yeah, I'm recording fairly late at night after working, so give me a break. All right, here we go. The pour. Brah. Slightly aggressive pour, but not really. All right, very, very copper colored, very caramel colored, which makes sense for what it is. And it is lovely. Nice, like, solid two-finger head approximately on there. Hmm. It does kind of smell a little bit squash-like. Now that I've read on the front that there's butternut squash in here, I definitely get that on the aroma. And apart from that, it's just kind of sweet. Not much else to the aroma. Kind of a simplistic aroma for a beer that I've tried before, and I know that the flavor is not simplistic. So let's get along to it, shall we? Mmm. Ooh, yeah. Just heaps of caramel. Heaps of caramel. You don't really taste the squash. I mean, I guess it's in there. There's like a little maybe bit of earthiness to it, but not really much. You know, that's clearly not what the primary flavor is here. This is just sweet on sweet. I mean, I guess the spices are there, sort of like a pumpkin pie spice kind of thing, but definitely more muted. The caramel and the sweetness from the caramel are definitely the major factors at play here, which is nice. I think that it actually complements the spice very well. Yeah, there's a real lack of bitterness, I would say, to this, though. So if you're somebody who likes beers that are bitter, like IPAs, etc., this might be a little bit of a letdown for you. It's just sweet. It's sweet on sweet. 7% alcohol. I mean, you can taste that there's booze in here for sure. It's it's definitely something you're not going to want to chug because it's thick and resinous and just tooth achingly sweet. I mean, if you have bad dental work, I apologize if I'm upsetting anybody out there by talking about your problematic teeth. I've had problems with my teeth in my life, trust me. They're not the best, but this beer, getting back to the beer, this is fantastic stuff. And I strongly suggest you seek it out in your area, as I have for several of the beers we've done. I guarantee you the next one is going to be one that's going to be a little divisive. I can practically guarantee it. Even, a lot of these Oktoberfests and pumpkin beers and stuff, a lot of people never really get into. So I guess it's all a little divisive. Even Halloween itself can be, a little bit creepy and kooky, and a lot of people don't like that. But hey, we celebrate it here. We celebrate the kooky and the wacky and the freaky here in the garden together with the Caramel Mistress in hand. You know, honestly, you know, to get real with you guys, this is one of those serious contenders, I think, for sweetest beer I've ever tried. Like, this is up there. Like, every sip of this is just like so much caramel. And, it's one of those things that reminds me of back when I was probably a little too young to legally be drinking yet. And I would go to, like, some deli or some place that was a little lax with the ID checking. And I would just get, like, whatever the craziest beer I could find was. And, you know, none of them were as well balanced or complex as this. But it does remind me of those heady days where you just didn't know what to expect when you would buy some craft weird stuff. And this is definitely that. This is some weird craft stuff. And if you can get down with some weird craft stuff, this is one you're going to enjoy. I have a feeling, because I really do enjoy it myself. It's perhaps one that you'll only have one or two of, like on Halloween night or something like that. Like, this is not one that I can see being a year round contender for your favorite beer. But I think 82 on Beer Advocate might actually be a little bit low for this one. I think it's seriously pretty darn good. Like, the last one we did was a non alcoholic beer, and it only got 2 points less than this. And in my book, this one is definitely better. But hey, we all have valid opinions about beer, because this is wonderful stuff we're talking about. That pumpkin dark was pretty good. So, far be it for me to get upset at somebody enjoying a delicious non-alcoholic brew. Anywhoozy, I'm so glad you joined us here in the garden. Please like and subscribe. Leave a comment, nice or not nice. Santa Claus will judge you. Auf Wiedersehen!